Thank you, Aiden. Thank you. That was beautiful. Your noodling keeps getting better and better. And good morning, everyone who's watching. Um, it's our Sunday celebration of love. And, we come together to celebrate the power of love and the power of our minds and our bodies and our hearts that can just open up to such an incredible way of living, an incredible way of being, and an incredible way of contributing in the world. And so, thank you for joining us this Sunday. I'm going to hand it over to our musician for the today, the day, the morning, as I look over my words. Just the most delightful woman and um, talented artist who's going to start us off with the song she wrote, all about gratitude. So take it away there, Aiden.
Thank you, Helen. Here we go. I'm counting all my blessings. I count them everywhere I go. I'm counting all my blessings through the rain and through the snow. I'm counting all my blessings, and they're gonna take me home. I'm counting all my blessings, and they're everywhere I go. I'm counting all my blessings, count them every single day. I'm counting all my blessings, no matter what they say. I'm counting all my blessings, 'cause that's the only way. I'm counting all my blessings, I count them every single day. I'm counting all my blessings, I count them 'cause I can. I'm counting all my blessings, no matter where I am. I'm counting all my blessings, I'm taller I will stand. I'm counting all my blessings, said I count 'cause I can. I'm counting all my blessings, said I count them in this song. I'm counting all my blessings, when I'm grateful I feel strong. I'm counting all my blessings, see they were there all along.
Oh, thank you so much, Aiden. I love it. I could just see myself like bopping around my kitchen, cooking, counting all my blessings, dancing in my living room. You know, gratitude is our theme for this month. It's the last Sunday for our theme of gratitude. And gratitude is such a wonderful spiritual principle. It is so worth cultivating. It just turns what we have into enough, which then opens us up for so much more than our limiting belief system will sometimes allow us to even investigate. So, gratitude. Thank you, Aiden. And I want to talk for a few minutes about the different the different ways that gratitude is woven into so many religions. You know, if we start with Hinduism, Hindus show gratitude in small acts of hospitality, through service towards the divine presence. They have many, many gods that they pray to and worship, but not just in their temples and shrines, but also in their homes. They're constantly expressing gratitude. It's woven into the fabric of their culture. And Judaism, Jewish morning prayer states, I thank you for having restored my life. Just waking up in the morning is reason enough to give thanks. And then Buddhism, you know, the Buddhists give prayerful thanks for all that life has to offer, including the challenges and suffering, because it helps them appreciate the gifts and also to become more compassionate. And then we have Christianity, where gratitude is a virtue most worthy of our cultivation. And gratitude is to be planted, watered, dressed, and harvested. In the Tao, gratitude is a way of life and a view of life. And it is a part of the way of life for them to reduce suffering. Confucius said, and this is actually my favorite, it is better to light one small candle of gratitude than curse the darkness. And in Islam, the month of Ramadan in the fall acknowledges a full month of gratitude, embodied in fasting and prayer, and then culminating in feasting and charity and giving back. Our First Nations traditions, Mother Earth will never abandon us as long as we continue to show our love and gratitude to her. And then in the Baha'i faith, be thou happy and well pleased, and arise to offer thanks, in order that thanksgiving may conduce an increase of bounty. And then, of course, in our New Thought tradition, including Science of Mind, gratitude is one of the chief graces of human existence and is crowned in heaven with a consciousness of unity. And that is by Ernest Holmes. And then, of course, Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. And with that, I am going to invite our practitioner of the day, Margaret Ann Snyder, to open us up with affirmative prayer. Good morning, Margaret Ann.
Thank you, Helen. Good morning. Oh, and I invite everyone to take a couple of deep breaths. Feel it coming into your body, reaching every cell with light and love, and feeling the relaxation of release on the exhale. Acknowledging now the one divine life, its holiness and its wholeness. It is everything that is. It is present as infinite love, as compassion, as creative thought, inspired action, the easy flow of energy. Its presence is felt in moments of spaciousness, in being with beauty, of quiet contemplation, in the silence within. As we are part of this holiness and wholeness, we can step into this day as love, as a new idea, a new way of seeing, a new way of being, a fresh new awareness of how beautiful we are. Knowing there is a part of us that is clear and open and free-flowing, we can use our minds and hearts to be in life anew today and every day. Clear, open, free-flowing, loving, grateful, feeling our way into this, knowing our good is right here for the accepting of it, knowing that infinite possibilities are possible, being in the free flow of love without preconceived expectations, simply the flow of love in, through, around, and as us. I'm feeling so grateful for this understanding of who I am, of who we all are. Grateful for the everyday occurrence of present moments. Today I let gratitude be my divine prayer. In gratitude for everything that is this life, I release my word as law, knowing that it is done. And together we can say, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Carrie. I'm going to hand it over to, or thank you, Margaret Ann. Sorry, I carry on my script here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful treatment. And I'm going to hand it over to Aiden for our invocation song.
Thank you. This is a song I wrote recently called Begin Again. Right now, I think everyone is having some form of beginning again and reevaluating their lives and changing the way they live. So that's what I wrote the song about. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go, and begin again. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go, and begin again. Made your mistakes and you tried to erase, but can you really hide what you hid? How could you know what you know if you didn't do what you did? So breathe in, breathe out, let it go, and begin again. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go, and begin again. When life gets too heavy, dark and cold, just feel the air in your lungs, the blood in your veins. That's the only truth you need to know. So breathe in, breathe out, let it go, and begin again. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go, and begin again. Here's to life on planet Earth today. Here's to this chance
Breathe in, breathe out. Look around and just feel it all. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it go and begin again.
Mm. Aiden, I have goosebumps. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And, for everyone just to take a moment and breathe in and breathe out. And I love what you said, Aiden, knowing we can begin again. You truly are a metaphysical songwriter. Oh, in every moment, we can begin again. And each moment that we choose to. And so thank you for that. That was stunning.
Thank you.
Stunning. And I'm going to bring back Margaret Ann. And, Margaret Ann, how are you?
I am well. Thank you, Helen. Good morning, and to you and to Aiden. That was beautiful, Aiden, just lovely. And a good day to everyone near and far. Yes, so good morning.
Oh, and how is gratitude showing up for you this month?
Well, during this month of gratitude and exploring the concept of gratitude, I have continued to do the practice of texting every day to a friend 3 things that I'm grateful for from the prior day. Doing this gives me a way to connect with someone of like mind, and it gives me a sense of celebration. So we've been doing this since the spring, and I have included many items on this list of things that I'm grateful for, including always family and friends. And my infamous, well, I don't know how famous it is, but last year I spoke also about this East York Municipal Buildings Farmers Market. Going there, so grateful for it. And a group of us go, some family and friends, and there's a little patio across the road from it that we can sit and have lunch. And this past week, we engaged in the present moment with each other and with a young raccoon up in the tree on the patio. He was just waking up, and he stretched and cleaned himself and walked along the branches to eat the berries on the tree. All this on a beautiful sunny autumn day. It was wonderful. I've had many experiences, like watching for the first time in my life, as I'm on the 10th floor of my apartment building just along the valley, seeing the red-tailed hawks going on a migration south along the Don Valley. It was just magnificent. There was about 40 of them in an hour in groups of 2 and 3 and 5. So it was quite spectacular. And I also want to mention that there have been instances in which it feels impossible to associate gratitude. It seems I'm being asked to feel deeper than I have felt before, to feel for others with deeper compassion, and to feel whatever feelings are prompted for me as I face my life challenges. And I came to ask myself, what is this experience bringing out in me or to me? What is the feeling I would not have had this not happened? And of course, the all-important question, how can I use this for good? What I noticed was that I didn't know that I could feel this deeply and still be okay. I am grateful for my capacity to feel. I have discovered that gratitude can be a part of acceptance and surrender. These deep feelings have built in me a capacity to go more deeply into my own silence, like a muscle being exercised. My capacity to experience, feel, and focus is enhanced. And like a muscle, This capacity stretches into the feeling and can then release in quiet focus. In my meditation, I can focus more deeply on who I am, perhaps let it go more completely. So gratitude can take many forms, as I have found during this time of gratitude.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. And I love what you said, Margaret Ann, about how you didn't know you could feel that deeply and still come through the other side of it. And I think that's a huge fear for people. And for you to actually affirm that, yes, you can get through it. And there's so many gifts on the other side of it. And you may not even have discovered what they all are yet. But to be grateful for the experience and to know that you have the resiliency and the capacity to move through whatever you're feeling. That's beautiful. I love it. And, I think also you were talking about watching the red hawks migrate, and there's, all the geese are migrating. And this fall has been I don't know, for me, the most spectacular fall I ever remembered in terms of colors and the leaves on the trees for so long and the weather being so beautiful. And it's, I look and I just went, wow, thank you, Mother Nature. Yeah, we're truly blessed to be able to recognize the gifts of Mother Nature and what this earth plane has to offer.
That's for sure. And can I lead us through the meditation or the affirmation?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I like this one. So each day I acknowledge all I am grateful for, all the blessings given and received. And I'll say it once more. Each day I acknowledge all I am grateful for, all the blessings given and received. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Margaret Ann. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for all your service and your beautiful, beautiful energy. So thank you. And I'm going to hand it back over to Aiden. She has another original for us this morning.
Okay, this one is called B, I think. And I actually wrote it at the beginning of lockdown. So back in March, when everything was starting. I'll just play it, but just the context that was the time I was writing it. Okay. You've been running all your life, tried to ignore the pain you feel inside. I know you're tired, I can see it in your eyes. I wonder when you'll start to recognize. The more you fight, the more you feel afraid, the greater peace you'll find, the less you push away. Invite your fears to stay, and they're gonna fly away if you can just slow down for a minute. Baby, feel the earth move under your feet. Slow down for a second. Tell me really, where do you gotta be? Where do you gotta be?
wanna know where the stillness lies, too completely to the noise, and the silence will arise. I dare you to try. I dare you to try and just slow down for a minute. Baby, feel the earth move under your feet. Slow down for a second. Tell me really, where do you gotta be? Where do you gotta be? Why don't you just be? You're paralyzed, afraid to heed the call, but the river has to run, and she's been breaking down your walls. Surrender to it all now, and slow down for a minute. Baby, feel the earth move under your feet. Slow down for a second. Tell me really, where do you gotta be? Where do you gotta be? Why don't you just be? You gotta Why don't you just be?
Beautiful. Perfect on the heels of what Margaret Ann was talking about. So brilliant. Thank you, Aiden. And we talk so much about being, being this love, being this light, being divine spirit, being who we are. And, it's like, how the heck do you keep being all the time? And it really is through spiritual practice, through our, I talked about in the 30-day challenge this morning, our conscious intention and directing our minds, and really being conscious, present, aware to the infinite creative energy, that power that is within us. And I'm in a class on Thursday nights. It's for an advanced consciousness certification. And then I'm doing some other things on the side for something else as well that I'll talk about at a later time. And so there are 19 of us in this consciousness studies class. And right now we are delving into the Everything Answer book by Amit Goswami, who is one of the most renowned quantum physicists right now in the world. And he brings about incredible hope for us as conscious beings to know that there is that power and presence within us, because it's part of the universe. It's all energy, and it's how we're using it. And the funny thing was, as we were delving into the book, on Thursday night, I had watched a documentary just before class called The Magnitude of All Things. It's not available yet to watch. It will be. It's by Jennifer Abbott. She wrote it, she directed it. She also helped produce this documentary, which is now won an award for one of the best Canadian documentaries in a film festival it was in. And I got into that portal for the film festival to, in a small window of time to be able to watch the documentary. And the documentary is, it's two things. It is her journey of grief with losing her sister to breast cancer, and it has a lot of her sister's beautiful, beautiful poetry and words of inspiration woven in throughout the documentary. But it's also about grief of the planet, and that the planet is grieving through climate change, through the fires, through the floods, through what's happening with tsunamis and all the changes that's happening to our earth plane and the destruction that is happening. And what she did, she traveled around the world. It took her 8 years to complete this documentary. She went from Nunavut and spoke to the First Nations in Nunavut about climate change and what they've seen up and are experiencing in the far north. She went to the Amazon, she went to Australia and the Great Barrier Reef, and filmed the fires in Australia. And she talked to the Indigenous people around the world. The one thing that came through so beautifully and clearly with the Indigenous in the Amazon and in the North and in Australia is that everything is interconnected. Everything is one. And that what one person does has an impact on another. But the most beautiful part that came through for me was the recognition we are love, we are all light. We are love, we are all light. And I just thought, are we actually being this, exuding this, living from that place of oneness and light? Or, as I entered into my class, are we talking about it, but not putting enough of it into action? And so when I consider what religions and the mystics have taught for centuries, that consciousness is back of all life, and it guides us in our values, in our understanding of the power of love. It provides us with the knowledge that we are here to serve. We are not here to take. We are here to serve. So I asked the question in class, will science, however well-intentioned, evolve to a place of innovation and creation aligned with the values of love and justice for all? Well, I would say, probably not. Probably it won't in my lifetime. That my experience of science is, yes, there's incredible innovation and creation, but often it's driven by greed and disregard for the planet, disregard for the underprivileged and disenfranchised. And there's always been a dualism between science and religion. And science has long recognized materialism and has us believing that our life is ruled by chance and by luck. So this is where quantum physics comes in to save the day. You know, as Amit Goswami states in his book, quantum physics is the alternative paradigm, restoring the meaning and value of life. And the reason for this is consciousness. Consciousness is the ground of all being. And in quantum physics, it talks about a downward causation. Just like we talk about in Science of Mind, there's this downward causation. And downward causation shows us that we start with possibility and that we have the power to choose. We have the power to choose what we are directing into the law, which is, you know, doesn't care. It's about our personalities or anything else. It just provides us with whatever we put into the law. And so what we choose depends on our conscious intention. We create our reality based on consciousness. And as we understand that the power of our thoughts and our feelings, they're energy, they're non-local, then we can start to create possibilities not based on our limiting beliefs, but based on recognizing that each one of us is a powerful causation in our life, that each one of us has the responsibility for what we are creating in our life. And perhaps if we start paying attention more to our own state of consciousness, and we start really living from, embodying and living from our own intuitive knowing, this infinite creative energy that moves through us as us, we will activate the power of love. We will activate our creative potential. And we will make choices that are here to serve. Choices that are inclusive, choices that are loving, and choices for justice, creating a causal equity where there's a playing field where we're all recognizing each other as the absolute divine truth of who we are. This is the evolution of consciousness that we have the potential to step into, that is needed in this world as we move through all of the unknowns in these extraordinary times. Remember, I'm not saying interesting anymore. I'm saying extraordinary, extraordinary. And there are a number of stages that we go through to get there. And one is, at the most basic level, is understanding we have the need for security and survival. We on this survival level have the need for connection and power and control. But what we need to do is recognize that and recognize that we're hardwired for survival. And so those patterns are going to come up when we're under stress. So the more solid of a baseline our consciousness is, our understanding that we have the potential to tap into something very different, the better off we'll be. Also, we tend to think that our external behavior is who we are. And, we tend to look from the outside and we want to hide any shame, hide anything that doesn't look perfect. We want to defend ourselves and we want to, justify our behaviors. So it fuels a lot of anger, and we need to let all of that go. We don't need to justify or defend anything. When we're connected, truly, truly connected into our divine energy, we're boundaryless. We don't have to defend and protect. And then we need to let go that we are our thoughts and our feelings. We're not. And we have this erroneous idea that if we control our thoughts and feelings, we'll be a better person. It is about recognizing we are not our thoughts and feelings. We're greater than that, much greater. We are our deepest intuitions. And when we can come to feel and knowing this in our body, then we start to really take action from a different place. And this breakthrough of recognizing, oh, I am this power within, and I feel it. I feel it as I say in the 30-day challenge, through every cell, every fiber of my being. But here's the pitfall. Sometimes we get content just to stay there. It's like, I'm feeling it, I'm being it, I'm exuding it. Yeah. We need to go beyond that. Because if we just stay with, I'm going to keep doing body work and inner work, and I'm going to keep feeling it, that too can be a pitfall for having any deeper kind of encounter with consciousness, with our God self. We must go deeper. And this is exactly what, where you're going, Margaret Ann. It's facing our unvarnished, uncivilized shadow self, where we let go, completely release our patterned personality, and just know that oneness. I will never, ever forget the face of that Amazon woman saying, we're all one. We're all light. And it's like, she just knew it. She had nothing to hide. That's it. That was her in her most just naked, beautiful being. And that's the point. That's the point I'm going for, is just, wow, I just know it. I know it. But on the way there, some of us get stuck in what's known as God's waiting room, where we work so hard to get there. And we're like, I'm in this stuff and I don't know what to do. And I'm waiting for this epiphany to happen. And we want to find a way out of what I call sitting in the muck. But all we can do is have trust and faith and patience and recognize our old separate self is moving away. It's falling away. It's like the corpses of our history are falling away to reveal our light and love, to reveal our consciousness, our sense of oneness. So we go through all these different stages, and to surrender into them and to allow all that muck to be there. It's okay, even though it's uncomfortable. It's okay. Because when all those corpses fall away, when we're no longer operating from that patterned personality, and we're living in that pure consciousness as consciousness, we embody and we experience the embodiment of our true self in the very center of our being. And it feels like nothingness. There's nothing there. We keep looking for the hallelujah. There's no hallelujah. It just is. It's like a void. It's a wonderful void of all previous judgments and perceptions and needs. And there's only presence. Just imagine getting to that place of, there's nothingness. It's just this, just this. And everything else has fallen away. Now, that can feel pretty vulnerable, very vulnerable. But we grow not by knowing or understanding, but by loving deeply and trusting. Because this is what it means to live in a state of amazing grace. And then there's only the absolute divine consciousness. There's nothing we need to protect. There's nothing we need to promote. There's nothing we need to prove to anyone, especially ourselves. And we have learned to let grace and the mystery of life guide us. And when we arrive at this place where we take full responsibility for our experience and we just are, life happens as us. And I'm going to say that again. Life happens as us, not to us, not for us, and not through us, as us. And then we also have the capacity to serve on a much greater level, to consciously choose love and justice for all beings, for this earth plane that is grieving, and yet having this beautiful opportunity also to restore, to be revitalized, to renew itself. And you know what? That's what we have in these extraordinary times. We have the opportunity to renew and restore and revitalize and go into the void where we just are. Just are. And we see and know and be oneness and love and faith and trust. And we can completely surrender. And so this opportunity for each one of us right now, go within. And if you have to sit in that muck, that's okay. But let go. Release the corpses, release the pattern personality, let go of the needs, and go deeper than you've ever gone before. Because we need to not just know it in our heads, we need to be it in our hearts. And you know, I just got a text from a client this morning, just before service started. And this is someone I've been working with for, I think, almost 2 years now, who was so stuck in his head, had everything he ever could have needed, but was missing heart. And he just has learned how to drop into his heart space and to let go of all of those preconceived notions. And he's just stepping into, from his heart space, expressing himself as pure divine love and having that come back to him and reflected to him. And he's like, this heart stuff works. It does. And I'm like, it does. It does. And I know that once we tap in, there's no going back. So live as light, as love, and be of service for our earth plane, for one another, and for yourself as well. Be of service to yourself. And let your beautiful, beautiful potential shine through, because it's all within each one of us. It's just waiting to be tapped into. So I invite you to consider that this week, is tap into it and give thanks for everything that's going on in your life, even if it's difficult, because we will move through this and we will be living in such beyond extraordinary, I got to find a word for beyond extraordinary times, as the world starts to shift and change in consciousness. And so I thank you for tuning in today and for being a part of our beautiful celebration of love. And I invite you just to open up your heart. It's all there for you. So many, many blessings, love and peace and blessings to all of you. Namaste. And I'm going to take us into our beautiful affirmation of gratitude. Divine love flows through me. It blesses and multiplies all that I have, all I give, and all I receive. I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater flow of abundance. And so it is. I invite you to send an e-transfer to admin@welcomeometoronto.com for your tithe, or set up your tithe, or you can give a one-time tithe at welcomeometoronto.com. And announcements for this week. Well, I'm going to talk about next week, because as you know, we are releasing our space. We will be complete at the end of the month for a place that has been our physical home since, oh, Nick, you will know it better than I will, 2005, I think. And as Nick so beautifully said, you know, we've been trying to move out since the day we moved in. It's finally happening. And we're moving up and out and beyond, because we are not defined by physical space. Everything's going to be online for the next while. So we will find something that is so beautiful and expansive and creative and filled with potential at that right and perfect time. So next week, I am inviting our practitioner core to come online with me for part of the service, and we're going to do a blessing, because again, blessing and giving thanks for all that we had there, and recognizing that, marking it, is so important. So we're going to do that next week. As well, just so you know, going into November, our theme is forgiveness, forgiving new life to ourselves. And then as well, on November the 2nd, we are launching our Welcome Home membership series. And this will be a monthly membership, or you can do yearly, or you can buy a 6-month membership. And you'll have all the information later this week. But this membership gives you access to all the live streaming meditation classes, free passes to our mindful immersion days, which are being held by Dr. James Mellon and myself and other renowned experts on mindfulness and body and meditation practices. You will also receive discounts to future 30-day challenges. My next one is going to be on intention. And also you'll have access to archived meditation classes that you can do on your own time. And there'll be different types of meditation classes. There will be yoga classes, again, very mindful, very aligned with our philosophy. Eventually we'll have sound baths that you can tune into. So lots that will be showing up in our Welcome Home membership. And again, like I said, more information coming to you next week. And that's it for announcements at this time. I want to say thank you, Margaret Ann, for being a part of the service today. And I'm so grateful for you. And thank you, Aiden. You are so incredibly talented. I'm blown away by what you produce and just your words. They're so aligned with our teachings. You're in deep, girl. And thank you to everyone for joining us online today. And Aiden, I'm going to have you take it away with the perfect song to finish us off with, one of your own tunes as well.
Mm-hmm. This song is called Mad Love. I encourage you to sing along if you know it. Okay. You lay neath the sun while I sit and I stare at the moon. You look at your life from a different point of view. And I'll never know quite how it feels to be you. So go ahead and tell your story. Tell me what you're going through. 'Cause you know I got mad love, mad love, mad love. Yeah, you know I got mad love, mad love, mad love. Yeah, you know I got mad love, mad love, mad love. No matter who you are, you know I got mad love for you. If we really want to heal the world, then we have to learn. When we're faced with an act of hate, we show love in return. It ain't always easy, that don't mean we can't try. Put your hands on your heart and turn your head to the sky. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. No matter who you are, you know I got mad love for you. For the ones that hurt you, for the one you call savior, for your best friend, your family, for yourself, for a stranger, for the ones we live for the freedom of all, for the gifts we've been given. If we can't love, we're not living. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. No matter who you are, you know I got mad love. Show them that you got mad love, mad love, mad love. Show them that you got mad love.
you are, who you are. You know I got mad love for you.
Thank you, Aiden Farrell. Thank you. That was beautiful. I have to mute myself because I did sing along, but you don't want me singing behind you. It's your backup. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Margaret Ann. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Have a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful rest of your week. Much love, many blessings. Namaste.